This is going to be a video on how to install a hot water recirculation pump. This particular one is the Watts 500-800 model. Alright, the very first step is to kill the power to your hot water heater. Mine's not labeled very clearly, so I'm going to shut off the whole thing. Okay, next step. Okay, the next step is to shut off the supply valve on top of the hot water heater. This one's located at the top of the cold water. Okay, now what we need to do is we shut off the supply valve to the water, and so we are going to let all of the hot water drain from our system. So I'm up here in my master bath and I'm going to turn on the hot water and we're going to let it run until it stops. So it's fully open, no more water, so our pipes are closed, or empty rather. Okay, the next thing we do is we want to drain the remaining water from the hot water heater. So we've hooked up a hose to the spigot at the bottom of the heater. We're going to run it outside. Okay, so now we're going to open. We'll open this valve. We'll let it run. Alright, now in order to get the water to actually come out of the hose, you can't have a vacuum effect. So what I had to do was I took off the hot water line, and that way water can go in while, air can go in while the water comes out. The next thing I'm going to do is install the pump. You can see the correct orientation by looking at this arrow right here on the side. So you want that up to be the water leaving the pump, so it goes from here up into here, so you want the orientation to look like this. Okay, we got the pump installed, so now we're going to test it and make sure that the water's flowing correctly. So we're going to open up the supply valve here. And we can hear the water start to fill up the hot water heater, and hopefully when we go inside, the hot water is going to be running from the hot water faucet. So let's go check that out. So here we can see the air being purged from the lines, and water will start to come out. And so we'll wait until it starts coming out without any air. Alright, looks like this one's good too. We've got no more air. It's a steady stream of water. So we know that there's no more air in the pipe, so we'll go ahead and hook everything else up. We'll turn the electricity back on. We'll set the timer for our pump, then we'll test it again. Okay, so I turned my power back on. I put the cover back on my, my heater down here, and so we've got water flowing. All of the water in the house works. It will soon be warm again. Right now it's cold because we had flushed the system, but the next step before we install the sensor valve, which I'll make a video about also, and I'll link to it in the description, is we need to set the timer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timer, and then I'll do a short little write-up on how to do that, but it's also in the instructions. It looks a little bit daunting, but it's not too difficult.